Good evening, everyone. Hi, Natalie, Jeanette, hello, LP, and Cher. Good evening. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, well, I just want to welcome everyone to the ECC11 strategy work group. Again, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Theresa Webb. Do we have anyone on tonight who is new to the ECC11 strategy or new to vibrata? If you are new, you can put a 111 in the chat. Natalie, awesome. Welcome. We have anyone else new to vibrata or ECC11 strategy? Okay. All right. So what we'll do is take a look at one of the first things I do before I start trading is, Natalie, what we're going to do is I'll just go over some of the things that I do before I start trading. And then we'll go over the settings for the vibrata, as well as talk about the strategy and the indicators. Okay. I'm sitting up here looking at US 30. I'm trying to keep my eyes off of it. But anyway, let me see. First of all, one of the first things I do, let me see. Okay, one of the first things I do is go to forexfactory.com to see if there's any news. I haven't been there yet, so I'll check it out right now. And you can do the same. And it looks like at 9:30 AUD, there's AUD news. So we may need to look at that first before we get into the strategy and the settings to see if the news, which is a red folder, as a fact, there's two news items. One is a red folder and one is an orange folder. And both of a red folder and an orange folder could very well impact the market. Let's see what it says. The red folder is, what are they talking about? It's the Australian Bureau of Statistics latest release. And that is, the usual effect is good for the currency. So we'll see if that moved the market. Let's see what the second one is. What I'm doing, I'm just clicking on the orange folder, and then I'll go into the folder to see what the news is about. Reserve Bank of Australia latest release. And that looks like the usual effect is good for currency. So let's look at AUD, USD. Jeanette, watch US 30. Okay, looks like AUD USD is buying right now. There is 10 minutes left on this candle. The red line is above the blue line. Let's take a look at the 5-minute candle. Red line above the blue line, blue candle. Let's look at the 1 minute. Oh, the 1 minute is pulling back. So we'll wait on this next candle to see what's going on. Let's see how far it's going to go up. Let me see. We're doing the 15-minute. Can't see anything. Let me go to my other screen here. Let's see, AUD, USD. Let me see. I have to go to a 30-minute. Go to the 1 hour. 4 hour. Question is, can you get 10 pips out of this? It looks like you might be able to. I'll look at it on the 10-minute. Let me go to the 4 hour on the other screen. So I can get back to you. Let me see. Here, you should be able to see my screen. I'm going to the 4 hour. Price is right here. And it looks like it's going to pull back. So I guess I would have to stay away from it. That's on the 4 hour. Yeah, that's the best that I can see. So we're going to leave that alone. I don't want to take a chance on that. I'm in US 30 right now. Let's see. You can take it if you want to buy US 30, you can up to 24409.8. If you want to buy US 30, you can buy it now, 24409.8. Okay, so the next thing I do is after I look at Forex Factory to see if there's any news that's going to impact the market, I usually go, Jeanette, will you watch US 30 for me? Let me know when it hits take profit. Then I go to FinViz.
Okay.
It hit? Oh, okay. All right. And then I go to FinViz.com. Let me see. Type that in the chat. Elon, will you turn that down, please?
I have my headphones on.
I don't know why I can hear it. Are you sure they're plugged in? FinViz.com. And when I go to FinViz.com, I haven't been there either, so I'm gonna go right now. I'm usually checking to see if in fact what pairs are the strongest during the period of time in which I'm trading. And as you can see, if you go there with me, you can see that it kind of gives you end of day for Dow, NAS, S&P, NASDAQ, and S&P 500. So I just click on Forex, and I'm looking for the strongest pair. So AUD USD is a positive 0.56%. USD JPY is a negative 0.31%. Oh, GBP USD is a positive 41%, and NZD USD is a positive 79%. So let's look at NZD USD right quick. Oh, I need to get on the other screen. Okay, we're gonna look at NZD USD. Okay, did anybody did same call? All right, looking at NZD USD, let's see what it's doing. I'm gonna go to, that's on the 1 hour. Let me go to the 15-minute and see if I can see anything. Okay, let me go to my screen to see if I can see anything. NZD, I'm looking. There it is. Okay. Well, I'm looking at NZD USD. What time frame? On the 15-minute time frame. I'm gonna have to go higher. I'm going to go to the 30. I think I'm gonna have to go to the 1 hour. Okay. Price is not moving right now for NZD USD. But at some point, I do believe it will go to, yeah, it is moving a little bit right now. Let me see if you can get 10 pips out of it. You might be able to get about 8 pips out of it, but it's not moving, so I'm not going to tell you to buy it or anything, but it is going to continue to go up a little bit. You might get about 8 to 9 pips out of it. So you might be able to get 10, about 9 or 10. You could probably get 9 or 10 out of it, but it is going straight up. So, but it's just not moving. So I don't take a trade unless price is moving. Okay, so we saw what the strongest pairs were. So what we're going to do is just move on to take a look at the settings for the strategy. If you're new to Vibrata, when you initially start with Vibrata, if you just follow my cursor at the bottom where it says strategy, Dr. Kathy's ECC11, yours may not say that. So just click on whatever strategy is there. And I'm going to show you the pop-up screen that you will see. It says the Web Analyzer settings. What you'll need to do is just scroll down to pick a strategy, go to the drop-down box, and you will see Dr. Kathy's ECC11 strategy. That's the first one. You can click on that, click on Save for Mobile Safari Desktop, and then scroll down to Turn Cha-Ching On Off. Click on On, and then click on Save Settings and Reload. Screen sharing, why do I stop? And then the ECC strategy should be there. Let me get to it. Okay. Share screen. Where's mine? There it is. Okay. And you should have the ECC11 strategy. Then after we have that, what I like to do is go up to the time frames. This is how we trade. We trade based on time frames. And you know, for the way the algorithm is set for the 5-minute time frame, you can actually get 3 to 5 pips if you take an alert from the 5-minute time frame. Now, because I like to get 10 pips, I deselect it, but if 3 to 5 pips is okay with you, well, then keep it checked. M15 and up, the algorithm is set for you to be able to get 10 pips. And all that means is that each candle that you see represents, like for this one, GBP AUD, depending on the time frame, that's how many minutes the candle represents. The blue candle is for price moving, price is buying, and then the red candle, price is selling. And you know, all it means is that, you know, each candle represents 15 minutes or an hour or either 4 hours. So during that period of time, it's going to be up and down within this candle, within that time frame. So under the time frames, you're going to see like there's this blue-green bar to the left. All that means that that's a trade idea that was called for a buy. The red bar means that the trade idea called is for sale. If you look to the left, you will see trade ideas, and you'll see some buttons. You'll see the second one is LP. That's for London payout. If you haven't gotten London payout, I highly encourage you to get it. Because for the most part, Dr. Kathy does pending trades on indices every evening at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. And the London payout is an extra $10. So you're going to get more than and that's an extra $10 a month. So you're going to get more than your money's worth just by getting the London payout. This is the London payout right here. And these are trade ideas that either Dr. Kathy or Kevin Serrano places any trade ideas they see throughout the day. And this is where she'll also place her pending trades, okay? For most of you that are new, as you know, Dr. Kathy Kirkland is she created the ECC11 strategy. Stephen Hooley is the program analyst or web designer, or for lack of a better term, I always like to say program analyst. Excuse me. I'm doing my training right now. Can I call you back? Yeah, I'll have her call you as soon as I'm done. Bye. Um, and he just took the information that excuse me. He just took the information that Dr. Kathy had and just programmed it into the web analyzer. So I forgot what I was talking about. So that's the London payout, okay? And then moving over to the settings. Although that she named her strategy the ECC11, and I'm sure you've heard her story and you know why, the indicators is the Ichimoku cloud. And the settings for the Ichimoku cloud is 613-2613. Now, if you're new to Vibrata, it may show up as 92652. So if it is, this is how you change it. You go to the wheel in the middle, and it's the settings. You click on that, and then you click on inputs once you see Ichimoku. And you just, the conversion line, you just click inside the box and change it from 9 to 6. Baseline is 13. Lagging span is 26. Displacement is 13. Go to defaults and save as default. And then go to style, because oftentimes the conversion line and the baseline color will be switched. So your conversion line should be red. If it's blue, just click on the inside the box and then just change your color to red. And at the same time, you may want to thicken your red line so you can clearly see it. The baseline should be blue. So just click on the box, change it to blue, as well as you may want to change the thickness for your baseline. Lagging span is green. I do recommend thickening the green line to the thickest width. And then from that point, go to defaults, save as defaults, and click OK. If there are circles on your chart, just click anywhere on the chart and they'll go away. Now, in terms of as you can see, the Ichimoku, that's a Japanese term for the indicator, and it just means one glance. You can take a look at the cloud and you can see the trend of the trade. As you can see, from here to here, price has been moving downward. This is the cloud. This purple shaded area is the cloud. I'm sure that you completed in your academy lessons series 1 through 100 through 400, and they talked about support and resistance. So this red line and this green line that outlines the cloud, that's support and resistance. Just to talk about some of your indicators here, the Chiku span is right here, this green line. And some educators refer to it as the lagging span, but Dr. Kathy refers to it as the money line. And this money line is really everything. It's my #1 indicator. And the reason that I like it is because of the fact it's the first indication of which way price is going to go. The candle actually follows the money line. And then this red line, the Tenkan-sen, we refer to it as a signal line. And oftentimes you will see, it kind of gives you an indication of what the candle's going to do. And sometimes you'll see it like pushing the candle either up or sideways or down. And then the blue line is the Kijun-sen, and we refer to it as a stop loss line. And if you don't know how to set your stop loss, what you can do is go to your crosshair and then put it at the end of the blue line and look to the right, and you can see that price for this particular pair, the stop loss would be 1.91233. That's the way of setting your stop loss. Another way is, I've heard Dr. Kathy say for 10 pips, 30 pips is good to set as a stop loss. And then I've also heard her recommend babypips.com. At babypips.com, it does like the calculations for you. You just put in what your capital is, and it may ask you what your risk is. And your risk, we recommend your risk be anywhere between 1 to 3% of your capital. And then it'll let you know, it may ask another question or so, but it will let you know how much you would be willing to lose based on your risk. So that's another option for you in terms of a stop loss. So you just check them out and see which one works best for you. Let me see. Where do I go from here? The way the algorithm is set for the ECC11 strategy is that anytime the red line is above the blue line, price is buying. If the red line is below the blue line, price is selling. Anytime the red line is below the blue line, like it is right now on this particular pair, anytime the red line is below the blue line underneath the cloud, that's a strong sell. If the red line is above the blue line, above the cloud, that's a strong buy. Any questions so far? Okay, you guys are quiet. This is your time, your space. This is a place where nobody gets left behind. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask them at any given time. The way I use, just to let you know the way that I use the money line, like sometimes you may want to know how many pips you can get out of a particular trade. Oh, the one thing I do want to share with you is that anytime, see how this red line has crossed the blue line right here? Anytime you can catch that cross and make sure it fully crosses, you're going to get 10 pips out of that move, okay? So this would be, you would get 10 pips from the standpoint of it being a sale. If it crossed above, you would get 10 pips as it relates to a buy. Would you mind repeating which lines indicate a strong buy and a strong sell? Sure. Anytime the red line crosses the blue line, like it is right now, and it's below the cloud, this is the cloud. If it's below the cloud, it's a strong sell. If the red line is above the blue line, like it is right here. No, not right there. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, if the red line is above the blue line, above the cloud like it is right here, that's a strong buy. Would that help you, Natalie?
Excuse me, Teresa.
Uh-huh.
What does it mean? I know earlier I saw where the red line was actually below the blue line, but they were above the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Is that saying that at that particular time, do not try to do any trades at that time because they're not matching up? What's your take on that?
Yeah, if you're new to trading, I would not take the trade. Because what happens is price is pulling back when you see that. Like, say for instance, red line is below the blue line above the cloud. I think that was the example you gave. Price is pulling back. That's what that means.
Also, whenever you decide to enter into a trade as well, I know you must look at the 15, the 5, and the 1 to
Hmm.
determine if they all match up. Now, when you say when they all match up, I know in terms of the candles, you want to make sure they're all the same color. But what uh, as far as everything, like say if it's a buy, everything being above, like the red being above the blue on each
Yeah.
of the thing. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Uh-huh. You're welcome. Okay. So, just to give you an idea of how I use the money line, I kind of wish this was a better example, but the way I use the money line, sometimes I need to know whether or not I should take a trade or not, because, as I said earlier, I'm always looking for 10 pips. So, clearly, this particular trade, I know that it's a buy. The red line is above the blue line. Price is just pulling back right now. Price is going sideways right now. Money flows three ways. It flows up, it flows down, and it flows sideways. And when money when when price is low, of course, you are looking to buy. When price is high, you're looking to sell. When price is going sideways, you do nothing. And that's because price is consolidating. And, if you enter into a trade when price is consolidating, you could lose quite a bit of money. So you want to make sure that price is going up or down. Now, if in fact, you see what happened, it looked like it was going up, now it's going down, can't figure out what it wants to do. So when that happens to you, this candle is not fully formed. You want to wait until this candle is fully formed at 12 minutes before you think about what you want to do with this particular trade. So what we're going to do, we're going to sit here and we're going to wait until 12 minutes because we know this candle is fully formed, and I'm going to tell you how I enter into a trade. Well, this is your timer right here. So now this is the timer for your current candle. So we know this candle has warmed up and is fully formed, and it looks like it is going to sell. Well, for new traders, I would not recommend getting into this trade because of the fact we know that price is buying because the red line is above the blue line and it's above the cloud. Okay. But say, for instance, it was not this scenario right here. And I was looking to the money line to see how many pips I could get from this trade. What I would do is price this I would make sure that this money line is pointed straight down. And then I would look to the left and I'm looking for my next lowest low. And I can see that it's right here. This is my next lowest low. So basically, I'm looking to the left. This is my next lowest low. And what's going to happen? Price is going to go up. So I'm going to take that information and I'm apply it towards the right. I can see price is going to come down to here, and then it's going to go up to here, and then it's going to come down. It may. Sometimes it may just go straight up, but that's why you have to wait. If it were me, I would sit here, I would let it come down to here and see whether or not it goes up and then continues to go up, or will it go down. My thoughts are it would continue to go up because it's a strong buy. So since everything is pointing in the right direction, but the money line isn't right, then we don't trade. Well, what again? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, let's use this as an example. The candle has now changed to a blue candle. Now at 9 minutes for me, I know this is a buy. The cloud is moving up. These are my confirmations. The cloud is moving up. Now, this candle is at 9 minutes. I would wait until the next candle before I did anything. I would also go to my 5 minute and see what it's doing. It's a blue candle, red line's above the blue line, okay? I go to the 1 minute, see what's happening. Red line is below the blue line. So I wouldn't get in the trade. If it's me, I'm gonna move on to another trade. Because in the run of a day, whether you're a day trader or whether you're trading London session, there are so many trades that are being called during that time frame. If it doesn't line up, I'm moving on to the next trade. Okay, does that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect. Let's see, I'm trying to see. The Asian session is the slowest session. And a lot of times we don't get a lot of alerts during this time frame. I don't remember talking to you guys about the buttons here at the bottom, but if in fact you want to get Forex trades alerts, of course you want to click this first button. The second button is for cryptocurrency, and that'll provide you crypto alerts. The third one is for your indices. You'll get indice alerts. And then your fourth one is for metals. I'm trying to see what US 30 is doing. If you're in US 30, put your stop loss and profit. So what would I do if in fact a trade alert was called? Let's see, let me try EUR USD. Okay, the first thing I do, we know that EUR USD is a sale because number one, it's a red alert and it says potential sale on EUR AUD. We know it's a 15-minute time frame. The first thing I look to see is how much time has passed. I normally take my trades within the first 5 minutes. This one says 38. We're going to pretend like it says 5 minutes, all right? So the first thing I do, of course, is click on the pair so that the market comes up. And then I'm going to go to my trend line. I'm going to click on horizontal line. And I'm going to click anywhere on the chart. Go to settings, which is this wheel. And what I'm going to do is put the called in price. I'm going to enter the called at price, which is EURAUD 1.66448. And then I'm going to click OK, and the horizontal line makes the appropriate adjustment. I know this is a sale, so I'm going to go to my trend line again. I'm going to click on my horizontal line, click anywhere on the chart, go to settings, and I'm going to set my take profit by subtracting 10 from the called at price, which would be 66348. This will be my take profit for the trade. And as you can see, the adjustments have been made. And, you know, of course, you're looking to make sure that your red line is below your blue line. It's below the cloud, which makes it a strong sell. And what I'm doing is waiting for this candle. It looks like it's already, as you can see, it's already taken profit because it actually occurred 38 minutes or 40 minutes ago. But as you can see, it's already taken profit. But of course, what I do is make sure that my current candle is a red candle because it's a sale. And then I'm going to make sure that the candle is fully formed at 12 minutes. Then I'm going to go to my 5-minute time frame. I'm going to check. And what am I checking for? I'm checking to make sure the red line is below the blue line. And I'm checking to make sure that it's a red candle. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the 1 minute. I'm going to go there, make sure it's a red candle, red line below the blue line. If everything lines up, I take the trade. Any questions? Okay, so you guys are good. You've all got it. All right. So we're going to do things a little different today. Why don't you guys scan the market to see if there's any trades, if you see any trades for us to get into. I'll scan with you, of course, but yeah, just scan the market to see if you see anything moving. When I say moving, I'm looking to see if price is moving, the price line, is it moving? Is the candle moving? Bitcoin is moving. Mm-hmm. Mm.
Excuse me, Theresa.
Uh-huh.
I know you said like when you scan the market, I know that the notification usually goes off in terms of the like possible trade ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, whenever you're other than this, so how else would you go about scanning the market? What would you do?
I guess if I was using the web analyzer, you know, one of the things that you want to do as a new trader is, first of all, I'm gonna answer your question, but I'm gonna
Okay.
make this point before I do that. One of the things you want to do is as you start trading, you want to record all of your trades.
Okay.
And by recording all your trades, there's several things you can learn from that. One is what pairs you like the best. And that may be based on, you may like for your trade to take profit fast, or it may not even bother you one way or the other. But that's, you know, that's something that you could easily look for if that's to your liking. The other thing is which pairs are paying out the most. You know, like EUR GBP, it pays out the most, but I don't particularly care for the pattern. You're also looking at trade patterns. Because what you'll find when you record I did that for a year, my first year trading. And what I found is that, you know, the market constantly repeats itself. And you'll start remembering the prices on certain pairs, depending on which ones are your favorites. So to answer your question, what you could do is just go to here and type in whatever your favorite pairs are. Really, you should study about you should probably look at about 3 pairs that you like and start studying those pairs one at a time to see the pattern, and you get to know it just like you form a relationship with it, just like you form a relationship with people, you know?
Yes.
And you learn the pattern of it, and you just go to that trade. Like, as an example, one of my favorite ones is GBP USD. So I would go to it to see if, in fact, this is the price line, this red line, that's the price line. I will be looking to see if it's moving. I don't enter into a trade because if the alert has not, now during the day and during London session, you're going to get alerts. You wouldn't have to do this. The only time you probably really have to do this is during this session, Asian session. I'm looking for this line, this price line to be moving. I'm looking for the candle to be moving. But there should be movement in the market. I'll look for movement. Oh, there's one. So let's see what it is. Okay, so we're going to go through this session. This particular trade is USD CHF. So we're going to click on USD CHF. Okay, as you can see that green line, you see how it was moving?
Yes.
Okay, the market, there's some movement in the market. Okay, so the first thing I do is pull up the pair. I look to see what time has passed. I know it's a sale because there's a red bar and it says potential sale. I know it's on the M15 time frame. So what I'm checking to see is the red line below the blue line. Yes, it is. And it's underneath the cloud, which tells me it's a strong sale. So I'm going to go to my trend line. And I'm going to click on the horizontal line, click on the space anywhere on the chart, go to settings, and I'm going to type in the called at price. Oh, well, I shouldn't have said that about this market, should I? 97263. Okay, and it makes an adjustment. Then I'm going to click on my trend line, horizontal line, and I'm going to click anywhere on the chart, go to settings, and I'm going to, this is a sale. So I'm going to subtract 10 from the called at price, which will make the take profit 97163. Then I'm going to click OK. All right, now let's take a look at this. Red line is below the blue line. The timer on the candle is 11 minutes and 56 seconds. However, the current candle is a blue candle. Am I interested in getting into a trade when the current candle is a blue candle?
No.
No, you want it to be red.
All right. So then now what am I going to do? I'm going to wait on the next candle. So I have 11 minutes to wait. It's one thing about Forex. You learn how to have patience. When you have patience with Forex, it will make you money. Because sometimes you just have to play the waiting game. So while we're waiting, let's go to the 5 minute and see what it's doing. Is the red line below the blue line? No. Why? Because price is pulling back. That's why. That's why it's crossed. And with this cross, that tells you what? It's probably going to go up for about 10 pips if it fully crosses. I'm still not sure that it's fully crossed yet, but it could very well go up for 10 pips. That's why we're waiting. Then we go to the 1 minute time frame. What's happening? It's selling over here, but it's going to take how many candles just to be equivalent to the 5 minute candle? It's going to take 5 of these.
Mhm.
So it could go up and down. It's going to go up and down for the next 5 minutes. So is the red line below the blue line? It's above. Again, that's an indication that price is going to continue to go up. It's going to pull back. So is this a trade that you would want to wait on? It is entirely up to you. If it was me and I was trading in London session or New York session, I would not be waiting. So we just got an alert for AUD US. Was it AUD USD? Yeah, 4 minutes has passed. So let's click on AUD USD. It's on the M15 time frame.
Mhm.
So this is a buy. We know it's a buy because the bar is blue and it says potential buy on AUD USD. Red line is above the blue line, it's above the cloud. Let's go to the horizontal line. Click on the horizontal trend line, click on horizontal line, click anywhere on the cloud, go to settings, type in the called at price, which is 65193. Click OK. Then we're going to go back to the trend line. Click on horizontal line. We're going to click anywhere on the chart, go to settings, and since this is a buy, we're going to add 10 to the called at price, which will make this particular trade take profit 65293. Click OK. Now my question is, this is a buy. Do we want to hop in this trade? Well, the red line is above the blue line. Okay, let's go to how much time is left on this candle? 8 minutes is left on this candle. Go to the 5-minute time frame. The red is below the blue line. Okay, 1 minute time frame, and the candle is blue. 1 minute time frame, candle's blue. Red and blue, red just went above the blue, but all 3 don't line up. So you can either wait or go to the next trade.
Mhm.
Up to you.
Question. Okay, when we are searching the market, let's say we do it without the indicators and we put in the different pairs. As we are going through and we see, let's say we have a strong buy, we see like I say, we got GBP and USD, right? And all of a sudden, like I said, we didn't get that indicator. As I am determining whether I should possibly look into this trade, do I need to see if one of these candles has touched the resistance or what? How do we base it on that?
Well, yeah, that's important because see, what happens is, like say for instance, let me go back to the 15-minute.
So is one of the red line or the blue line right here, is that considered, let's say, a resistance line or whatnot?
No, these
Okay.
are just like the Tenkan-san, just like I said, it's your signal line. And as you can
Right.
see, sometimes it's like pushing a candle in a
Okay.
certain direction, and your blue line is your stop loss line.
Okay.
And that can be used for setting your stop loss. But what I wanted to say about these support and resistance, like say for instance, you see that this is a strong buy. Say for instance, price pulls back.
Yes.
Well, and especially when your support line is straight like that, what it does is it almost operates like a magnet. Price has a tendency to go all the way to here sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it'll go all the way to this support line, and it'll bounce off of it and go back up. So the key is this. Anytime you see something like that happening, you play in a weight game. to see if price bounces off that support line and goes back up.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes there can be enough volume, whereas price will start going through the cloud. Then you have to be careful, because if price goes through the cloud, it can still bounce off this resistance line, come back up, go through support, and come back up. Also, if price breaks the resistance, now you're talking about a trend change.
Mhm.
So those are the things that you're looking for when you're looking at, the candles and price pulling back,
Okay.
etc. Does that make sense?
It does.
You sure?
Yes, because I've actually I listened to the training last week. Of course,
Mm-hmm.
I asked questions again last week. On
Mm-hmm.
Friday, I actually jumped in and did my first trade.
Okay, how'd it go?
It was very successful.
Good, yay.
Said I was going to let you know that I appreciate your time that you're giving us and your willingness to allow us to ask questions, because it is paying off. I've only been doing this for 1 month,
Uh-huh.
and I've actually done a total of 3 trades on my own, and I'm 3 for 3. So
Awesome. 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 Well, that's good to hear. And that's what it's about, learning how to fish. That's what it's about. And what I like about the web analyzer is that you're actually learning technical analysis, even though the trade is being called for you. Because this is just like Dr. Kathy calling a trade. But you can actually learn some technical analysis. Just by watching the candles, wondering why did it call, because you can also use the vertical line and determine what candle price was called on, why price was called here. You can measure to see how much price pulls back, to see for this particular period what is the average pullback, if no news is impacting it. So it's just a lot of things you can learn. You learn about, if the cloud is going up, you can tell, I really like the cloud to really be pointed and pointed. And you can also tell that this money line here, it actually forms the end of the cloud. It forms the cloud. So if you pay attention to the moves on the money line, you can also see it forming the cloud as well. So, I mean, it's interesting. It really is. So I'm glad that you had some success with it. I really am. And I'm glad that you provided me with that feedback. It just brings joy to my heart. All right. So guys, we have I think there was another question. Let's see. Well, with this, I trade with the money line. So you just may want to be cautious if the money line isn't in the right. If it's a buy and the money line is not pointed up, I personally would not take the trade. If it's a sell and the money line was not pointing down, I personally would not take the trade. I don't care what else, everything else is doing. I wouldn't do it. But you have to realize this algorithm is set for the red line being above the blue line, and you catching 10 pips from it. But you can use the money line as maybe another confirmation if you choose. Does that answer your question? I think it's Fox that asked the question. I like everything to be pointing in the same direction. That's just me. But the money line is my number one indicator. but they've really made this simple and cut down on your learning curve with this red line. If I'm telling you, if you just do the red line over the blue line, if you do the red line over the blue line or under the blue line, and you make sure it lines up on the 5 minute and the 1 minute, you'll be fine. You'll make plenty of money. Yeah, you're right. If we were in this trade, we would have probably hit take profit. What minute? See, on 15 minute, 5 minute. Yeah, it made its move. It went up. But I was talking and wasn't paying attention to it. Sorry about that. Anybody get in it? Did anybody get in?
I did not.
Oh, okay. I was talking and wasn't paying attention to AUD USD. But you're right. Yeah, you would have been in profit. Okay, guys. Well, that concludes my time for this evening. I hope you got value out of this training.
Yes, most definitely.
Good. And we'll be here tomorrow, same time, same place.
Before you go, ask a quick question.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Have you yourself done the compound chart? Because I know that's something that our team is going to start this Thursday.
Okay. Yes, I have. It takes discipline. I do highly suggest that you do it because the key is that you make your goal.
Right.
You know, so it's a good guide for new members. I think the longest that I was able to do it was close to 30 days. I didn't make the 30 days. So.
Oh, you didn't make the 30 days. Well, you know, if you had at least 90 trades within the 30 days, then
yeah, you could shorten it that way. That is true. But yeah, it takes discipline. But I've heard that so many people have had success with it. But you know, compound interest is real. I mean, that is the way to do it.
And I most definitely will let you know how it turns out.
Okay, and just like I said, it's all about you making sure that you meet your quota. Once you meet your quota for the day,
yes,
stop trading.
I agree.
You know, stop trading. It teaches you discipline too. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for your time.
All right, you're welcome. Have a happy trading day, everyone. Don't forget about the 11:30 pending trades. And Dr. Kathy's doing a marathon this week, and I believe she comes on at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. 9:30.
Yes.
Is it 9:30 or 8:30?
Yes.
9:30.
9:30. Yes, it's 8:30.
9:30. Okay. All right. Perfect. All right. Have a good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.